In 1929, inside the Topkapi Palace in Istanbul, a discovery was made that would leave the scientific world in a state of permanent shock. While cataloging ancient documents, a theologian named Gustav Deissmann found a fragment of gazelle skin parchment tucked away in a dusty pile. It was a map, dated 1513, signed by the Ottoman Admiral and cartographer Piri Reis. At first glance, it appeared to be a standard naval chart from the Age of Discovery. But as researchers began to study the coastlines, a terrifying question emerged. This map, drawn just 21 years after Columbus reached the New World, didn't just show Europe and Africa. It showed the Americas with incredible precision. And at the very bottom, it depicted a landmass that shouldn't have been discovered for another 300 years. Antarctica. But the location isn't the mystery. The mystery is what the map shows on that land. Not ice, not glaciers, but mountains, rivers, and coastlines, as they looked thousands of years ago. To understand the enigma, we must understand the man. Piri Reis was one of the most feared and respected admirals of the Ottoman Empire. He was a scholar of the seas. In his own notes, written directly on the map, Piri Reis makes a startling confession. He admits he is not the original author of this geography. He claims he compiled the map from 20 different source maps. 8 of these source maps, he claimed, dated back to the time of Alexander the Great. Some, he hinted, were even older. This suggests that Piri Reis was a curator of lost knowledge, information rescued from the Great Library of Alexandria before its destruction. If Piri Reis was telling the truth, it means that thousands of years ago, a civilization existed that had mapped the entire planet. A civilization that disappeared, leaving only fragments of their knowledge behind for sailors like Piri Reis to find. Let's look at the most controversial part of the map: the Queen Maud Land coastline of Antarctica. In 1949, a joint British-Swedish scientific expedition conducted a seismic survey of Antarctica. They wanted to know what the land looked like beneath the miles of ice. What they found perfectly matched the Piri Reis map. Here is the problem. Antarctica has been covered in ice for at least 6,000 years. Some scientists say millions of years. How could a map drawn in 1513, or even a source map from the time of Alexander the Great, show a coastline that has been hidden under a mile of ice since the dawn of human history? This implies that someone, in the deep reaches of prehistory, sailed to the bottom of the world when it was still green. Someone with the technology to calculate longitude, a feat that modern humans didn't master until the late 1700s. This leads us to a theory that mainstream history is afraid to touch. Are we a species with amnesia? Proponents of the ancient advanced civilization theory, like Charles Hapgood and Graham Hancock, suggest that the Piri Reis map is a ghost of a lost era. They argue that before the last ice age ended, a global seafaring culture mapped the globe. Perhaps a cataclysm wiped them out, leaving only these mysterious charts behind. Charts that eventually found their way into the hands of an Ottoman admiral who realized they were far more than just paper. They were a message from a hidden era. Was the Piri Reis map just a lucky series of mistakes? Or is it the smoking gun that proves our history books are missing a massive chapter? The map remains in the Topkapi Palace today, a silent witness to a past we are only beginning to understand. It reminds us that the further we look into the past, the more we realize the era we think we know is only a small part of the story. If you want to go deeper into the mysteries that history tried to forget, subscribe to The Hidden Era. Tell us in the comments, do you believe in a lost civilization? Or is this all just a coincidence? Until next time, keep searching for the truth.